Hola, muy buenas chicos y chicas de Century Gamers HD, soy Crim06 y como dije, estamos en Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. Y bueno, a ver, ¿cómo os puedo poner un poco en información antes de empezar? Como sabéis, Metal Gear Solid 1 representa que estamos en 2005, Metal Gear Solid 2 estás entre el año 2007 y 2009, pero este es una precuela y estamos en el año 1964, en plena Guerra Fría. A ver, primera partida. Me gusta Metal Gear Solid 1, venga. Bien, normal, por supuesto, como siempre. ¿Para qué vamos a complicarnos la vida de maneras innecesarias? Lo dicho, estamos en el 1964, en plena Guerra Fría.
After the end of World War II, the world was split into two, East and West. This marked the beginning of the era called the Cold War.
Muy bien. Lo dicho, pues en la línea temporal de la saga, estos serían los primeros acontecimientos. Y de hecho, a día de hoy siguen siendo los primeros acontecimientos en toda la saga Metal Gear, incluso con el nuevo que va a salir dentro de... Bueno, dentro de poco, no, el año que viene, a saber cuándo no se sabe, que es el Metal Gear Solid 5 de Phantom Pain. Territorio soviético.
20 minutes to drop off.
Commencing internal depressurization. Equipment check. Arm main parachute.
All right. You ready to go?
Drop zone still showing a high pressure mass. Cab okay.
Good. We've got high visibility.
Luz verde. Si cabo ok, luz verde. Este pedazo de hace 130, ¿eh? De la época, claro.
Put out that cigar. Connecting oxygen hose to interior connector. Put on your mask.
Si me lo pides de buenas maneras, quizá te haga caso. ¿Vale?
Does this panty waste know what he's doing?
Bueno, ¿qué decir de este juego? Trajo muchas mejoras jugables y... Bueno,
10 minutes to drop off.
fue un bombazo en la época. Tenemos un... leche. Que no sé ni hablar. Teniendo en cuenta que este juego es de 2004, ¿eh? Ojito, ¿eh? 10 años tiene este juego. Esta jodida joya de los videojuegos.
Depressurization complete.
Checking oxygen supply.
6 minutes to drop off. Opening rear hatch.
Hostia, ponía en la máscara arriba Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. ¿En serio? Correcto, abajo, debajo de US Army. Amanece.
External temperature minus 46 degrees Celsius. 2 minutes to drop off. Stand
Pero no
up.
congelarme con tanto frío al tirarme.
You'll be falling at 130 miles per hour. Try not to get frostbite from the
Mira
windshield.
lo que he visto.
1 minute to drop off. Move to the rear.
Muy bien.
Activate bailout model.
This is one for the history books. The world's first Halo jump.
Halo.
10 seconds to drop off. Stand
Lo que
by.
fucker apagando el puro.
Status okay. All green.
Prepare for drop off. Countdown. 5,
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Spread your wings
and fly. God be with you.
Venga, con Dios. Madre mía, ¿cómo empieza esto, no? ¿Cómo empieza esto? Se está viendo arriba, con la voltereta, pero se ha visto de paso. Hideo Kojima, este tío es puto dios.
Jack, I've got some important news. The head of the CIA has finally given us the green light for the virtuous mission.
Virtual mission?
No, the virtuous mission. The future of our Fox unit depends on it. If it succeeds, we'll be officially
Mirad
organized into
Fox.
a unit.
Virtuous mission. Sounds like some kind of initiation ritual.
Don't get cocky. This isn't a training op.
Right. So what exactly is this wonderful mission?
Well, about 2 years ago, a certain Soviet scientist requested asylum in the West through one
Muy
of
bien.
our moles.
Un típico
His
desertor
name is
de la Unión
Nikolai
Soviética.
Stepanovich Sokolov. He's
Sokolov.
head of the OKB 754 Design Bureau, one of the Soviets' top-secret weapon research facilities, and the East's foremost expert on weapons development.
Sokolov. Isn't he that famous rocket scientist?
The very same. On April the 12th, 1961, the Soviets achieved the first manned spaceflight in history.
Esto es
The
cierto,
Earth
¿eh?
was blue, but there was no God.
Well spoken. The rocket that carried Yuri Gagarin to orbit was the A-1, known as the Vostok rocket.
Sí, sí.
Sokolov is said to be the man most responsible for the
Esto es
multi-engine
verídico.
cluster used in that rocket.
Bueno, lo de
After
Sokolov no, ¿no? Pero
Gagarin's
lo...
flight,
Gagarin y
Sokolov
los soviéticos
left
en el
rocket
espacio, sí.
Become the head of the newly established Design Bureau.
From a lowly technician to head of a design bureau, that's quite a success story. So why do you want to defect?
It seems he'd become afraid of his own creations.
Afraid.
Call it a crisis of conscience.
And for that, he left his country and his family behind and went over the fence?
Not exactly. One of his conditions was that his family was also to be taken safely to the west.
Muy
He
bien.
used a mole to get the family out first, and succeeded in sneaking Sokolov over the Berlin Wall shortly afterwards.
Talón de hierro.
I was the one who conducted the operation.
The security on the eastern side was still full of holes back then. Then what?
We got Sokolov over in one piece, but the whole ordeal had left him exhausted, and we checked him into a hospital in West Berlin. It took him 2 weeks and more than 600 miles to get from the research facility in the Soviet Union
kilómetros,
to
eh.
Berlin. He was in no condition to say anything coherent. And it was only a week later that we had something much bigger on our hands.
Misiles nucleares en
Missile
Cuba.
crisis.
October the 16th, 1962,
Eso también es
President
cierto,
Kennedy
¿eh?
received word that the Soviets were in the process of deploying intermediate-range ballistic missiles in Cuba. The President demanded that the Soviets dismantle and remove the missiles. At the same time, he announced a naval blockade to prevent further missile shipments from reaching Cuba.
Sí, sí,
But the
correctísimo.
Soviets didn't back down, instead placing their armed forces on secondary alert. Soviet transport ships carrying missiles continued on course towards
Sí, aquí
Cuba.
se armó una muy, muy,
US
muy,
and
muy
Soviet
gorda, ¿eh?
forces
Pero
went
muy
on
gorda.
alert for an all-out nuclear war. Frantic negotiations were conducted through the UN's Emergency Security Council and unofficial channels to end the hair-trigger standoff.
Por suerte.
Finally, on October the 28th, the Soviet Union agreed to remove its missiles from Cuba.
A cambio de
the
los
world avoided a
misiles
nuclear holocaust.
americanos en Turquía.
But in order to get the Soviets to pull their missiles out, we had to make a deal.
You mean the one where the US agreed to remove its IRBMs from Turkey?
No. The Jupiter
¿cómo que no?
IRBMs deployed in Turkey were obsolete, and we were going to get rid of them anyway. They had no strategic value whatsoever to either the US or the Russians. The Turkey deal was a ruse, a cover story that was fed to the other intelligence agencies around the world.
So what did the Russians really want?
A Sokolov.
Sokolov. They wanted us to return Sokolov.
You mean the Soviets pulled out of Cuba just to get their hands on Sokolov?
Para que veas lo importante que es
That's
este
right.
tío.
What the hell was he working on?
No quieras
At
saberlo.
the time, we had no idea. We were running out of time. It was either give up Sokolov or risk full-scale nuclear war. In the end, we had no choice. President Kennedy gave in to Khrushchev's demand. The next day, I got Sokolov out of the hospital, handing him over to agents on the eastern side. Sokolov kept on screaming, "Save me," until he disappeared from my sight.
Joder, macho, pobre hombre.
Then, a month ago, we received some new information from one of our moles.
About Sokolov?
Yes. He was taken back to the research
Hala,
facility and forced to
hacer más
continue
armas,
working on the
chaval.
weapon in question under KGB supervision. What's more, it's on the verge of completion.
So what kind of weapon is it? Something to do with space rockets?
No, missiles.
Same technology.
I guess you're right. We don't know the details, but it appears to be a new kind of nuclear device. For half a year now, the Soviets have been conducting frequent nuclear tests at Semipalatinsk.
Something to do with the
Joder, ¿cómo,
weaponized.
el sitio cómo se llama?
About a secret weapon so big
Semipalatinsk.
that Khrushchev was
Te
ready to pull
cagas.
out of Cuba to get it back.
Is Sokolov still in the facility?
No, according to our intelligence, he's in Selino-Yarsk, a place in the mountains about 3 miles to the west that's known as the Virgin Cliffs.
Pues para allá que hay que ir,
Virgin
¿no?
Cliffs. Nice name for a virtuous mission.
They moved him there just recently.
Why?
Apparently, they're conducting a field test of the weapon, but it's our best chance to get him back. This mission would never have been possible if he was still in the research facility. This is our last chance. Sokolov must have known that too when he contacted us.
Muy bien. Si me dejáis, lo hago. ¡Wow! Pero no salto, di que sí, con 2 cojones. ¡Hija! ¡Vamos! ¿Puedo mirar en primera persona? Creo que hay partes en este juego que sí que te dejan mirar en primera persona alguna que otra cinemática. Creo que esta es una de ellas. ¡Uah! Sí, el
Listen
rey.
up, Jack. Your mission is to infiltrate Selino-Yarsk in the
Pero mola
Soviet
más verlo así,
mountains,
la verdad.
ensure the safety of Sokolov, and bring him back to the west. If we don't get Sokolov back before that weapon is complete, we'll be
Se
facing a
puede
major
liar
crisis.
pardísima.
The clock is ticking.
Yeah. Muchos agujeros para un paracaídas, ¿no?
Once we've
Creo
confirmed
yo,
the
vamos.
rescue of Sokolov, stand by at the recovery point. A recovery balloon will be dropped at that point. Helium will be pumped into the balloon to inflate it. The process takes about 20 minutes. Once it's complete, the gunship's arm will latch onto the balloon and pull it up.
The Fulton surface to air recovery
Sistema
system.
Fulton, madre
I'm
mía, esto
familiar
lo
with
usas
the
en Peace
theory.
Walker a patadas.
Take it easy. It's been combat proof.
Y en el nuevo también. En el de Phantom Pain también se usa a patadas. Como que lo está viendo.
The shock will be less than during a parachute jump, and the arm can handle up to 500 pounds.
So you're planning on going over the border in a single combat talent?
She's equipped with 2 6-barrel 20mm Vulcan cannons, as well as 2 40mm machine guns.
Bonitos
Sounds like she could
juguetes.
hold her own against a battalion of tanks.
Even with the fuel in the reserve tank, we're facing a 4-hour time limit. If all goes well, it shouldn't take more than a few hours.
Home in time for dinner.
But if anything
No
goes
sale
wrong,
mal.
You'll be eating dinner, breakfast,
and all the rest of your meals in the jungle.
Sí, se lo has dejado, claro, jefe. Ay, qué puta. No menos que esta chavala es muy maja. Paramedic. Yu. Madre mía. La bolsa. Ya puedes ir a buscarla. Bom. Madre mía, pedazo es el bote, ¿no? Aquí en Rusia. Una entrada también un poco similar a la de Shadow Moses, pero sin la escena del ascensor. Pero bueno, seguir todo el equipo así, en plan, soy el hacker. Y... ¡Oh! ¡Oh, oh! Snake. Igual de joven que los 2 primeros, pero... estamos unos cuantos años adelante. ¿Por qué? Pues porque este hombre es...
Do you copy?
ya lo veréis.
You're already in enemy territory, and somebody might be listening in. From here on out, we'll be using code names to refer to each other.
Muy bien.
Your code name for this mission will be Naked Snake. I'll be referring to you as Snake from now on. You're not to mention your real name.
Snake?
Oh, you don't like snakes?
What do you mean?
Well, you've eaten one before, haven't you?
In survival training?
Anda.
I'm glad to hear that.
I don't know
Porque
if I
aquella
could
patada,
order one at
¿no?
a restaurant, but...
Be careful, you might not have a choice.
What about you, Major? What should I call you?
Let's see. I'll be Tom. Call me Major Tom.
Muy bien.
This will be a sneaking mission. You
Mayor.
must not be seen by the enemy. You must leave no trace of your presence. Is that clear? This
Okay.
kind of infiltration is the Fox unit's speciality. In other words, weapons and equipment are procured on site.
Vamos a ver
That
toda la
goes for
vida.
food
Que
as
te
well.
dejan
You're
en territorio
completely
enemigo
naked,
sin nada.
just as your name implies.
Great. Now I see why you asked me if I like snakes. I suppose calling me Snake was your idea of a joke, too.
No, there's a good reason for that. I'll tell you later when the time is right.
Gotcha. Getting back to the subject, how exactly am I supposed to feed myself?
Lo que
You've been
pille.
issued a knife and a tranquilizer gun. Use them to hunt for food. You'll also find some medical supplies in your backpack.
Yeah, about the backpack. I lost it in a tree on the way down.
Pues venga a buscarla. Uy, va.
I see. Well, you'd better go back and get it then. You know where it is?
No problem. I can see it from here. It's stuck on a branch.
Muy bien.
To climb a tree,
Sí, sé hacer
stand in
esto. Venga, sé subir. Dejarme el control ya que después de 16 minutos quiero jugar, gracias. A ver. Comida, cuchillo. Vale. Bueno, claro, está todo en la mochila, claro. Bueno, aquí incluye la mecánica, como podéis ver arriba a la derecha, de ese tanto por ciento es que el tanto por ciento de camuflaje que tengo yo ahora mismo respecto a los ojos del enemigo. Pero es que me verían en 0, y cuanto más alto sea, pues menos me van a ver. Así que eso es bien saberlo. Oh, mochila. Y como habéis visto, la pantalla de codec y el sonido del codec han cambiado.
I see you've retrieved your backpack, Snake.
Sí.
To equip a weapon, it's necessary to take it out of your backpack.
Sí, sé
In the
cómo va.
survival viewer, choose weapon from the backpack.
Que sé
Your
cómo va.
available weapons will be displayed in a window in the upper left. From
Vale.
that list, choose the weapon you want to equip.
Es que no me lo
and
quiero
press
saltar
the
porque
enter
creo que ahora me
button.
presentan al equipo
For other equipped items,
de
just
apoyo
do the same thing
psicológico,
from
como
item.
vamos, como
Got
en
it.
todos los Metal Gear.
Use the survival viewer backpack.
Yep, that's right. Survival is fundamental to this mission. After you've been out in the field for a while, your stamina will start to drop. If your stamina gets too low, it'll affect your performance. You won't be able to
Correcto, hay que
shoot
tener
accurately, for
cuidado
example,
con eso.
and your wounds won't heal as smoothly. Keep an eye on your stamina so you don't run out.
Porque ya como habéis visto no se desarrolla esto en edificios como en Shadow Moses o
Use
en,
either your
o en
tranquilizer
el Big
gun or
Shell.
your knife
Aquí
to
es
hunt.
pura jungla,
My
puro
only
bosque.
weapon is a Mark
Rara vez
22
estaremos
hush puppy
entre edificios
tranquilizer
en este
gun.
juego, la verdad.
That's right. It's been
Sí, que
fitted
esto
with
cambia
its own
mucho.
suppressor. However, the suppressor will deteriorate every time
Esto
you
también es
fire.
nuevo.
Once its
Los
durability
silenciadores
reaches
tienen una
zero, the
durabilidad.
noise suppression
Cuando
effect
llegue a
will be
0
gone.
se rompe y no los puedes volver a usar hasta que no
Don't get
encuentres
too
otros
trigger
nuevos.
happy with it.
Que antes ponías el
suppressor's
silenciador de la
durability
Socom y
is
eso era
shown in the
infinito.
Any weapons and equipment beyond what you're carrying now, you'll have to find as you go.
Muy
I
bien.
have to find my own weapons and equipment? Whose crazy idea was this anyway?
Solo covert actions are standard Fox operating procedure. You can't leave any traces of your presence. No
Muy bien.
weapons, equipment, footprints, sweat, or bodily waste.
Ah, vale, que
Same
también
goes
tengo que
for bullets
hacer
and
popó en
cartridges,
bolsas, ¿no? Y llevarme las
Your
bolsas.
presence in enemy territory is already a violation of international conventions of warfare. There
No,
aren't
eso es
supposed
cierto,
to
¿eh?
be
Como
any
se entere
American
Rusia
soldiers in Russia.
de que hay un soldado
It could
americano en su
spark
territorio en
an
aquella época, se
international
podía liar la de Dios, ¿eh?
You can't let anyone see you. You can't let the enemy know you're there. This is a stealth mission. You're a
Muy bien.
ghost snake in every sense of the word. And there'll be no rescue if you're captured. The military and US government will deny any involvement in the affair.
Then I'll just have to take care of myself, huh?
I'm
Correcto.
afraid so. You've been given a fake death pill for that purpose. SIS
Que nunca las
guidelines
he usado, la
stipulate that
verdad.
soldiers on covert ops like this one be issued
píldoras
a
de falsa
potassium
muerte nunca
cyanide
las he usado.
capsule. Tape it to your body so you can take it when you need to.
How generous of you.
Use it if you're taken prisoner by the enemy. It'll It'll send you into a state of false death for a short time.
Fooling them into thinking that I'm really dead. So, how do I come back to life?
Just take the revival pill.
You mean that
Ha!
thing they put in my tooth before the mission?
That's the one. But be careful. If you remain in a state of false death for too long, nothing will be able to bring you back. Remember that.
I'll keep it in mind. You said this was a solo mission, right?
Right.
I guess that means I can't count on any reinforcements.
Correct.
No, estás
The
jodido,
mission
Snake, estás
rests
jodido.
entirely
Como
in
siempre.
your hands.
A real one-man army.
Relax. There's a support team ready to back you up over the radio.
Who?
I'll introduce them to you. This time, survival is of utmost importance. The first member of the support team will be in charge of monitoring your physical condition, acting as a medic, so to speak, as well as recording your mission data.
Vale,
She's a
interesante.
member of Fox as well, and she's here on the gunship with me.
She.
Hello,
Paramedic.
Snake. I'm paramedic. Nice to meet you.
Paramedic.
As in a medic who comes in by parachute.
Aren't you going to tell me your real name?
Are you going to tell me yours, Mr. Snake?
My name, huh? It's John Doe.
And they call you Jack for short. You're a regular Captain Nemo.
A name means nothing on the battlefield. After a week, no
John
one
Doe
has
es
a
un
name.
nombre falso.
What's your
Que
name?
se da... Se
Jane
suele dar en América, no sé por qué
Very
motivo, la
funny.
verdad, realmente.
I
No sé
wasn't
qué hay
joking,
detrás de esto,
but I'll
pero
tell you
es
my
un nombre
name
falso
only
que
if you manage to
realmente
make it back
significa no
alive.
tengo nombre.
My frequency is 145.73.
Una paranoia americana.
She's also in charge of recording your mission data. Whenever you want to save, send
Vale,
a
puedo
message over
guardar.
the reserved save frequency,
pues ya está.
140.96.
So saving lets me record my mission data.
That's right. It also records the state of your health.
Se guarda mi estado y mi salud.
Good to know.
There's one more person I want to introduce you to, Snakes.
O sea, espero no guardar eso, no muy
Speaking of
jodido.
Snakes, you remember the boss, don't you? A
La jefa?
legendary soldier and your mentor. Actually, it was the boss that got the DCI's authorization in the first place. She's going to be serving as Fox's mission advisor.
Boss is?
She also helped me plan this mission. She and I were at SAS together.
Ah, en el SAT.
Jack, is that you? How
Hey,
many
jefa.
years has it been?
Boss?
That's right. It's me.
Uy, qué shock,
Talk to
¿no?
me. Let me hear your voice.
It's been 5 years, 72 days, and 18 hours.
Hostia, lo tiene contado a la
You've
milésima.
lost weight.
You can tell just by the sound of my voice.
Of course I can. I know all about you.
Really? Well, I don't know anything about you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Why'd you disappear on me all of a sudden?
I was on a top secret mission.
Aquí
You
hay
didn't
miga,
need
¿eh?
me anymore.
But there were still so many things I wanted you to teach me.
No, I taught you everything you needed to know about fighting techniques. I taught you all I could. The rest you needed to learn on your own.
Techniques, sure. But what about how to think like a soldier?
How to think like a soldier? I can't teach you that. A soldier needs to be strong in spirit, body, and technique. And the only thing you can learn from someone else is technique. In fact, technique doesn't even matter. What's most important is spirit. Spirit and body are like two sides of a single coin. They're the same thing. I can't teach you how to think. You'll just have to figure it out for yourself. Listen to me,
Ahí,
Jack.
un punto para la
Just
jefa,
because
¿eh? Snake.
soldiers are on the same side right now doesn't mean they always will be. Having personal feelings about your comrades is one of the worst sins you can commit. Politics determine who you face on the battlefield. And politics are a living thing. They change along with the times.
Otro punto para la
Yesterday's
jefa,
good
venga,
might be
más.
tomorrow's evil.
Is that why you abandoned me?
No, it had nothing to do with you. I already told you, Jack. I was on a top secret mission. A soldier has to follow whatever orders he's given. It's not his place to question why. But you're looking for a reason to fight. You're a natural-born fighter, but you're not quite a soldier. A soldier is a political tool, nothing more. That's doubly true if he's a career soldier. Right and wrong have no place in his mission. He has no enemies and no friends. Only the mission. You follow the orders you're given. That's what being a soldier is.
I do whatever I have to get the job done. I don't think about politics.
That's not the same thing. Sooner or later, your conscience is going to bother you. In the end, you
Tercer
have
punto
to
para la
choose
jefa.
whether
Madre
you're
mía,
going to
suma
live as a
y
soldier
suma y
or
sigue.
just
Pim
another
pam,
man
pim
with a
pam.
gun.
Aquí la jefa
There's
de
a saying in
boss.
the Orient, loyalty to the end.
To the end.
Do you know what it means?
Being patriotic.
It means devoting yourself to your country.
I follow the president and the top brass. I'm ready to die for them if necessary.
The president and the top brass won't be there forever. Once their terms are up, others will take their place.
I follow the will of the leader, no matter who's in charge.
People aren't the ones who dictate the missions.
Then who does?
The times. People's values change over time. And so do the
Dos puntos
leaders
más
of a
para
country.
de boss. Madre
So there's
mía,
no
esta
such
tía
thing as an
me cae
enemy
bien,
in
¿eh?
absolute terms.
Me cae muy
The
bien.
enemies we fight are only enemies in relative
Sabe mucho
terms,
esta mujer, sabe
constantly
muchísimo.
changing with the times. As long as we have loyalty to the end, there's no point in believing in anything, even in those we love.
And that's the way a soldier's supposed to think?
The only thing we can believe in with absolute certainty is the mission, Jack.
All right, but do me a favor.
What is it?
Call me Snake.
Snake. Oh, right. Your code name is Snake. It suits you well.
That's right. The legendary unit that the boss put together during World War II was a snake.
Correcto.
Cobra unit.
La unidad Cobra.
Group of heroes that brought the war to an end and saved the world. As long as you've got a legendary hero backing you up, you'll be fine. Isn't that right, Snake?
Yeah.
Sí
I
te lo
can't
dice.
think of anyone else I'd rather have with me. Oh, and one more thing, boss.
Yes?
It's good to hear your voice again.
Same here. After all, who knows if either of us will make it out alive? Snake, you are always best at urban warfare and infiltrating buildings. But this is the jungle. Survival is going to be key. Those CQC techniques I
CQC.
taught you are sure to come in
Caiga
handy.
quien caiga, como el programa que había antes aquí en España.
Close quarters combat, huh?
Me
I've
gustaba
been in the
bastante,
Green
la verdad.
Berets for the past few years. I'm probably pretty rusty.
Not to
Aprende.
worry. I'll be here to help you remember.
Oye, en
After
serio, llevo
all, this is
27
your
minutos y
first
no he
actual
jugado nada.
survival mission.
Quiero jugar.
I'll be supporting you over the radio.
Where are you, boss? Next to the major?
The boss is
No.
communicating with us by radio from aboard a Permit-class submarine in the Arctic Ocean.
My frequency is 141.80. Call me if you need my advice on battle techniques.
Gotcha.
Vale.
Your mission is to
¿Me
retrieve
dejáis?
Dr. Sokolov.
Ya, por favor.
Dr. Sokolov is being held in an abandoned factory located to the north of your current position.
Muy bien. Rumbo norte,
Avoid heavy
pues.
combat and don't let anyone see you. Don't forget that this is a stealth mission.
Ok. ¿Puedo empezar ya?
Snake, try to remember some of the basics of CQC.
Ya está.
Commencing virtuous mission now.
Sí, por fin me dejan jugar. Sí. Gracias. Bueno, pues avancemos. No creo que haya nadie por ahí. ¡Uy, esa serpiente! Mira la que serpiente más chula. Bueno, este juego, como es el HD Collection, te deja que la cámara, ¿veis que la cámara no es fija? La puedo mover yo, no es fija como en los anteriores Metal Gear. Pero en la versión original de Snake Eater, que salió en 2004, la cámara era fija. Y eso era bastante problemático, porque aquí los espacios son mucho más grandes que los otros Metal Gears y podía llegar a limitarte mucho esa cámara fija. Entonces aquí ya es un acierto esto, la verdad, ¿eh? Pantano. Cocodrilos. Meca, tío. Sí, sí. Hay un objeto, voy a ir por ahí. Espero no hundirme. Mira cómo abres la boca ya, en plan de... Métete aquí, por favor. Va a ser que no, cabrón. Silenciadores, guay. Y veis, como veis, también no hay radar. Un momento. Voy a ver el equipo. Llevo bastante. Llevo demasiado peso, ¿eh? Mira, esto no lo uso nunca, me lo quito. ¿Cómo se quitaban estas cosas? Así. Vale. También. Vale, ya voy muchísimo más ligero. ¿Y aquí qué? Esto me lo voy a quitar, que ya lo he hecho bien. Micrófono direccional, vale. De momento vamos a ir así. Ok, Que también el peso del equipo influye en cuán rápido te cansas. Entonces hay que vigilarlo claramente. Vale. Creo que vamos bien dirigidos, ¿eh? ¿Qué has visto, Snake? Oh, gente. Soldados enemigos. Sí.
Major, I've spotted 2 enemy soldiers.
They're probably KGB troops sent to guard Sokolov.
Muy bien.
AK-47s and grenades.
Pues habrá que vigilar.
Snake, your presence in Soviet territory is already a violation of international law. You can't
Déjame
let the
jugar,
Kremlin find out
cabrón.
that the CIA and the American government are involved.
Vale.
Contact with the enemy is strictly prohibited. Don't engage them in battle either. This is a stealth mission. Got that?
The Major is right. The point of this mission is to sneak through the jungle without being seen. The success of the mission depends on how well you use your
Vale, ese es el
camouflage.
tutorial de camuflaje, ¿no?
Change your
Sí,
camouflage.
vale, esto ya lo sé. Me lo salto. Es el tutorial del porcentaje de camuflaje. Que de hecho voy a mirar a ver cómo voy. Vale, esta pintura facial me da más camuflaje, un 5% más, algo es algo. Y el uniforme... Tigre... Tigre me da 20 y hoja me da 30. Pero el tigre es más árboles, hierba y tierra. Y esto solo entre arbustos. Voy a ponerme hoja, va. Y estando de pie... Estoy de pie completamente, va al 50. O sea, imaginaos, si me agacho 65. Si me tumbo al 90. O sea, si me tumbo no me tiene que ver nadie. Venga, vamos para allá. Viene para acá, ¿no? Sí, vienes para aquí, amigo. Vamos a meternos en el tronquito este. Repelente. Guay, guay, guay. Vale, ahí viene. Este tiene radio, porque si os fijáis en el hombro izquierdo le brilla una luz roja, que es la radio. Solo hay uno con radio o dos, dependiendo qué grande sea la zona, en cada una de las zonas. Así que si veis que es complicada, intentar al menos dejar a estos tíos inconscientes antes que al resto, porque si no se puede armar la marimorena. Vamos a ir sutilmente. Ahí al fondo hay otro. Pájaro. Aquí no hay nadie. Vamos a aprovechar ese arbusto. Bueno, ese arbusto, este tronco de árbol. Vienes para aquí, ¿no? Opa. Sí. Vale, no te muevas tanto, Snake, por Dios. Quédate quieto en el sitio. Coño, puta cámara. Vale, nada, no lo veo. Vale, pero viene para acá. Vamos a esperarse. Vamos a esperarnos tranquilamente y con calma. Eso es, tú no mires aquí dentro. Que vas a venir para aquí. Pues te voy a tener que dormir, ¿eh? Vale, aquí hay otro. Mierda. No. Tú no has visto nada. Ah. Yo no sé tú, pero yo me he escaqueado de puta madre. Vale, tenemos otro ahí, un puente. Ah, sí. Y un panal de abejas bien rico, ¿eh? Mira cómo se ríe el cabroncete, míralo. ¡Hala! Ahí te piquen bien a gusto. Hay dos más allí, pero... ¿Se los lleva? ¿Se los lleva con las abejas? Sí, venga, va. Tenemos toda la zona libre, creo, ya casi. Si no toda, casi toda. Uy, el puente este, qué asco de puente, por Dios. Por aquí podía... creo que hay uno. No, pues venga, tiremos. Creo que ya he llegado al sitio donde está el señor Sokolov. Sí. Es una zona complicadilla esta, para pasar desapercibido, la de la fábrica esta.
Where Sokolov is supposedly being held. This place is a dump.
¿Qué tenemos?
I can't see Sokolov from here. The security is pretty tight. There are sentries posted around the perimeter. I wonder how many are inside.
Your objective, Sokolov, is inside the factory. They should be holding him in a room in the northeast section.
Northeast section. Got it.
Muy bien.
Be
Me lo
careful.
apunto.
Your mission is to bring Sokolov back alive. He must not be exposed to any kind of danger. Do not approach Sokolov while in the alert phase.
Right.
Roger.
Oh, and one more thing, Snake.
You mean there's more?
Dígame
No,
usted.
it's just that when you get to Sokolov, I want you to tell him something from me.
And that is?
Sorry for being so late.
Is that all?
Yes.
Understood.
Qué solemne.
Beginning my approach to the target.
Muy bien. Snake se aproxima al objetivo y yo me aproximo a acabar el capítulo de hoy. En fin, mucha cinemática, ya lo sé. Los principios y finales de Metal Gear Solid son así, son bastante lentos respecto a vídeos y todo el rollo. Así que bueno, nos vemos en el siguiente vídeo donde rescataremos al señor Sokolov de ese basurero como lo ha llamado Snake. ¡Adiós!